Does anyone have a question?
Stuart, it's Brad.
Yes, Brad.
Can you speak about staying in the experience of now?
Well, it's one of my favorite subjects. I speak about this all the look. The experience of now, please try and stop moving. The experience of now is almost an impossible situation unless you have training, unless you really develop a system that is strong enough to keep the mind quiet. As long as the mind is active, human beings are going to live in the future and the past. It's like a ping pong match, which side of the table you're going to spend your time on. And now is really a byproduct of training, of building chi, of building the hara, the chakra below the navel, keeping the heart open, quieting the mind. This is what the training of this meditation is all about. And this is what I keep telling everyone. It's not something like you walk in a room, flick on a switch, and you're in the now. It doesn't work like that. But it happens organically over time. Your system evolves inside, and you ultimately wind up living in the moment. You have the ability, the capacity inside that's been developed literally over years of training to stay centered in the now. I mean, it's a great concept. And, people have written books, The Power of Now and Be Here Now, and all of these people that understand somehow that living in the moment is really what it's all about. That there is no future, hasn't come yet. Past is dead. All we have is the now. And because our minds are so active, we are bouncing from the past to the future, worried about, and the future is always worry. What's going to happen to us? I mean, look, it's already happened to us, whatever's going to happen to us. There's nothing to worry about. But we spend so much time concerned about the future. It freezes us with money, with this, with that, with work, with what's going to happen to us? What are we going to be when we get older? Some people are young here, but most people are not so young anymore. And it's already happened. And being trapped in that kind of a prison keeps one from really enjoying their life. And enjoying the life means we're in touch with our senses. We are living in the moment. We are living in the now. Our hearts are open. There's love. We're living in the miracle of God's creation. And I always say Genesis isn't something that happened 1,000,000 years ago. It's something that's happening this moment. All of life is being created around us, this moment, depending upon how developed our consciousness is and how strong our chakra system is with the capacity to live in the moment. But again, it's not you just walk in a room, turn on a light, and you're in the now. It doesn't work like that. Although we seem to think it works like that. I should be in the now. Why am I not? The training, the development, the years it takes of building the chakra system, of just getting our hearts open, having to build foundations so the heart can stay open. If the heart is not open, you will never be able to live in the now. Not possible. We will manufacture, an egotistical now that will usually do damage to a lot of people. But a now full of love, full of the sacred presence of God, Spirit, and now full of compassion, full of empathy and kindness. That takes time to develop. I mean, I think I spoke about this last week. I saw this documentary about the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu, where they met in the Himalaya mountains. And it was wonderful. I mean, like these guys are like two children. They were living in the now, but both of them were 80 years old. And when they did some snippets of what these people lived through, and how over years they developed the kind of system that enabled them to live and be like kids. They were like children. The way they were touching each other and holding each other's hands and grinning and smiling, and even the way they were kidding each other. It was two souls that are highly developed over years. So each in their own way got there. I mean, Tutu, I don't think is alive anymore, but he was a Christian, he was a bishop or something, and the Dalai Lama, well, the Dalai Lama is the Dalai Lama, top Buddhist. But that's how one lives in the now. It's years of development. And in our work, it's truly the building of a chakra system. It's the development of the heart. And we can consciously develop third chakra, the heart, quiet the mind. We have a tool. We have a technique that really will help us do this. I mean, it certainly in many ways has worked for me over the years. I remember what I was like. I was like an insane asylum inside myself, totally unhappy. Mind never shut up, emotions that were like quicksand, and years of working, gradually it goes away. Building the system that enables us. That's why I tell people, you got to take advantage of what God puts in your life. Otherwise, I mean, how many lifetimes does one want to live through this insanity, that goes on this planet? And we, in many ways, have been blessed with Rudy's work. There is a technique that can be used to do what I'm talking about. And it doesn't have to take 30 years. It's just building muscles. Chakras are like psychic muscles. You got to build them. You have to strengthen them.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Brad. Very good question. And that's something I talk about, in my tantric things that I'm putting. There's a lot of this, of what I just spoke about tonight. A lot of that is in there. In fact, the ones that are being posted now and next week, they're all about Kundalini, developing the chakra system. I suggest, reading. I think there's one going to be posted tomorrow, maybe, or either tomorrow or Saturday, But I suggest reading some of if you haven't read them, I think you're in for some interesting reading. I don't know. What do I know? I just write them. Atsuko, you're muted. You have to turn on can't hear you. Atsuko, I can't hear you. Turn on go down. 1 second. I don't know. I can't hear you, dear. All right, try to talk now. I can't hear you. I mean, it's technology. I don't, there's got to be something you can do there. I just try to unmute you here, and it says you're unmuted, but I can't hear you. I can't read lips either. Sorry. Does anyone else have a question? Excuse me. Does anyone else have a question? Suko, just send me an email. I'll answer your question. Okay. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, if there are no more questions, there will be a class on Sunday. I'm hoping to see everybody. And right. I mean, I wish it was in my power to enlighten everybody, like turning on a light in a room. But it can't be done, you know? It requires the work that people are willing to put in. That's what the universe asks from us. I don't know if you understand that. There's God's will and there's human will. And they talk about human will, about making money and building this and doing that's bullshit. You know, human will is building a system inside that can commune with higher energy. So there's a oneness with God's will. Internalizing the will and building that kind of system. That's what, you know, there's God's will and human will. Everybody uses human will, you know, ambition, money, you know, whatever it is that they want to get in life, except the one thing, which is healing themselves inside, fixing themselves inside, building a system that is strong enough so there is a communion with higher energy in the universe. And then human will and God's will is a marriage, come together. We've done our service in the world and used the tools that we have to build a kind of system that enables us to develop enlightenment. Does anyone else have a question? Okay, if there are no more questions, then God bless you all. And as I end every class, I just am very grateful for your presence. As I've told you all are my teacher. You all are demanding of me that I grow. And I use my will to build a system that connects with the divine will. Not an easy job, but a job certainly worthwhile doing. So God bless you all and thank you. And, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. Have a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see everybody on Sunday. Bless you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.